Turtles are on the endangered species list for the world. So you might see a couple of them come up from the beach and think there's a lot. No.
There are certain groups that specialize in the capture of it. There are certain groups that specialize in the cooking of it. And they all know each other.
They believe that the eggs mixed with rum and Guinness, turtle punch, is like a Viagra. Rubbish. If people try and serve you turtle stew or soup, it could be poisonous.
Some people are becoming aware, so you shouldn't be doing it. But when they are aware, they go more underground. On record, we have 4 species of sea turtles that normally visit Jamaica, and that is found on our waters. The hawksbill is one of the popular ones. The females normally come up on the beach, lay their eggs, go back in. At this time, they are vulnerable, and people go there to catch them. Catch them because they want the meat, catch them, they want the egg, use the egg and make punch. That has been going on for generations. And my personal view, I think some people are becoming aware, so you shouldn't be doing it. But when they are aware, they go more underground. Turtles are on the endangered species list for the world. So you might see a couple of them come up from the beach and think there's a lot. No. And it takes several years for them to reach that adult size. Now in Jamaica, we have 1 native freshwater turtle. There was an incident in Clarendon where the police arrested a gentleman for having these turtles at his yard. So by right, you should not have these turtles at your house. If you have them over time, contact NEPA. Without a permit, you can't have them at your house. It's totally illegal. Second thing, traditionally, some people normally eat pond turtle and are not aware that they are protected. So the pond turtle, which white slider, find enough for our rivers and pond. However, there's also a red slider that is popular on the pet market, which you can have as a pet. But on the other side now, we humans know, traditional in some places use the egg and make punch. And I even growing up know about it. So they get the eggs, put it in the ball, and they make punch with guineas and oats and all of that. And it's supposed to make your back stronger, or be Superman. The other part that they do with the meat, they use it to make soups, or different contraption, and they say that it's a big aphrodisiac. And some of these beaches, some of these restaurants, or some of these parties, they serve the turtle meat. And it is totally legal. When I said legal, you can lock up for about what? Over 12 months, depends. You can be fined. And people might look and say, in Cayman they eat sea turtle, how we can't eat it here? Cayman have different rules and regulations. The turtles that they eat, they farm it. I have been there where people send pictures on Facebook, WhatsApp of a turtle leg, or they might talk about the shell, or they might talk about they grate the penis in the soup. They dry the penis and they put it in the soup. So yes, it's still going on.
You cook it just like how you can cook goat, cow, chicken, but overall you like them say you have to boil water and strip off the yellow something off him. You have to take off them there off him, and you have some something in them where you have to peel him and take out them like some slime. You can't just chop him up like the chicken so and cook him and go bitter. It have a bitter taste. If you don't know if you clean it, it don't make sense to trouble it. Them say the egg make you strong. You know that punch now then come out when they yard I blame up some juice now with Guinness and Magnum and peanut and them. So the turkey egg now, you broke the turkey egg and blame it out in the blender. Because turkey egg thick, you know. Overall it build up like your sperm system, like if you want to have sex and you need a children. That's how it help you towards. Because them say food. Bon of food for me.
They believe that the eggs mixed with rum and Guinness, turtle punch, right, is like a Viagra. rubbish, right? It's absolute rubbish.
If you need aphrodisia or your back needs strengthening, you can go get Cialis or Viagra, or you can also go do some punch and leave the turtle alone. Majority of the time, these are traditions that have passed the years, and I can't tell any truth to it, but these guys would swear to it and tell you that it's the greatest thing. And most time that sea turtle can do one thing, it can raise the dead. So then for leave the sea turtle alone.
The problem is that now the predominant turtle is the hawksbill, and they're actually prized for their shell because you can't eat the meat. And one of the messages that needs to get across is that if people try and serve you turtle stew or soup, it could be poisonous. In Indonesia, somebody had caught a hawksbill, cooked it as a casserole, 3 people died and 27 ended up in hospital. You can't cook out the toxins. You know, fishermen won't eat barracuda and yellow jack at certain times of the year. Same thing, they eat the same poisonous sponges that poison them, and it affects our nervous system, and it's very difficult to get rid of. Turtles are also sexed by temperature, so we now have problems because of climate change. So if the temperature of the nest is above 28.3 degrees, everything in that nest will be female. If it's below that, they will be male. But there is now a world shortage of males. 2023, we work with Tufts University, and these are data loggers. And we put them in the sand. You can walk along the beach with them buried in the sand, and you can get the temperatures. We have done that all over the beach, and we now know that we've got probably, I would say, 25% of our nests minimum are all male. The world estimate at the moment is 1 or 2%. So we are doing remarkably better. We can move nests off our beach to other places. The sex, which is set by temperature, happens between the 20th and 40th day. So if we put the nest at the back of the beach and leave it for say 40-45 days, when we then move it to another beach, they're going to get all male. The reason I got started was because the locals killed every turtle that came up and dug up every nest the first year I was here, which was 2004. I came in 2003, and I couldn't understand. We kept finding turtle shells on the beach that had been stripped of all the meat. Anybody touches a turtle around here, I get 2 or 3 phone calls from the local guys that tell me what's going on. And because I spent 12 years on the fish sanctuary board, I know most of the fishermen, and they all know me. After Hurricane Beryl, the fishing in Old Harbour Bay area was terrible. So a fishing boat came round fishing from Port Maria up to us, and they saw a turtle in the water. They got a net and tried to catch it. They didn't catch it, but they tried. 2 of the fishermen in separate boats rammed them, got machetes out, swore at them, and ran them off saying, "You don't do that to turtles round here." Now, when you get the fishermen protecting your turtles and you get your population on board, you don't worry about what goes on.
In Jamaica, it's island-wide. There are certain groups that specialize in the capture of it. There are certain groups that specialize in the cooking of it. And they all know each other, they talk to each other, and they keep it very, very hush-hush. And I mean, besides the drive to consume the meat, there is also, you know, the encouragement to catch it, because the price of it is very high. You go to specific restaurants and you ask for specific things. So for example, you live in a fishing community like Rocky Point or Old Harbour Bay. Residents in those communities would know precisely where to go in order to purchase it, but they are not going to tell anybody else outside of that community. Maybe they're close friends, but they're not going to tell a police officer or a member of the JDF or a member of NEPA. So the 2 primary laws that protect them would be the NRCA Act as well as the Fisheries Act. Both laws operate by themselves independently. However, in most cases, what happens is that when an individual is charged, they're charged under both laws. For the Fisheries Act, the charge is up to $3 million if you're caught in possession of the animal. However, it's not just the animal, it's any part of the animal. So say for example, you get the entire carcass of a turtle, you cut it up into 20 pieces, you are no longer being charged for one turtle, you are being charged for 20 pieces of that turtle. And then you are being charged under both the NRCA Act and the Fisheries Act. So it's no longer 20, but 40 charges are now against you. Unfortunately, I do not think enough is being done to protect our local species. We simply don't have the resources that is necessary. Our enforcement is stretched thin, and there is, sure, NEPA is the overarching body. However, your laws are only as good as you are enforcing them. So we have good laws, yes, but as it pertains to enforcing them, that's where we fall short. So the primary thing is public awareness about the importance of the species and why they are protected and why they should not be consumed.